Corepunk, what we know in 2023. What's going on, Saviors? GH here. In this video, we're gonna talk about Corepunk, the platforms, the combat, the PvP, the features, and what is Corepunk. All that in this video, and with that said, let's do this. First off, what is Corepunk? To get this information, let's take a look at their website. And it says here that Corepunk is an MMORPG with fog of war in a seamless open world. Now, to elaborate more on that, it's like this. The undiscovered part of the map is gonna be surrounded by mist or fog, hence fog of war. And it also says seamless open world. Now, this part means there's a single map and you will not encounter any loading. Now, guys, take the seamless open world with a pinch of salt because most developers nowadays loves calling their games open world. But I've seen Corepunk trailers and previews, and it's certainly a large map, but it's not released yet and I'd like to play it first before confirming it's a real seamless open world. That said, based on what they're showing on their YouTube channel and website, I'd call this a top-down fantasy MMORPG with a mix of steampunk and cyberpunk. Now, Corepunk is being developed by Artificial Core, and according to LinkedIn and the Corepunk website, they're headquartered in Amsterdam, Netherlands. And they got a core development office in Kyiv, and according to this, they're gonna self-publish. Let's hope they release Corepunk in a proper time away from popular titles like Blue Protocol, Throne and Liberty, and Diablo 4. In my opinion, they should avoid being remotely close to those games because everybody will play those games. And now that we're talking about the release date, there's no release schedule for the game, and according to their website, this states that they're planning several stages of CBT and then they're gonna release the game. And seeing that we haven't even heard of any CBT plans after their first target, which was by the end of 2022, which didn't happen, which is fine, don't rush it, they should do the CBT when they're ready. Now, as of February 2023, there's no news of an upcoming CBT, but they did mention CBT on their latest gameplay video about professions, and they didn't say anything about the schedule. They just said, quote unquote, after the first closed beta, we plan to release new content every quarter, making our development cycle more predictable and efficient. Now, let's talk about the basic questions most players ask about MMORPGs. Let's start with the combat. They've shown the variety of videos showing how the combat is, and it's action combat in a top-down perspective, kinda like what you see in action RPGs like Path of Exile and in some MOBAs like League of Legends, which typically involves using a combination of basic attacks, spells, and special abilities to defeat enemies while avoiding their attacks. And players must carefully manage their characters' resources such as mana, health, to ensure they have enough to survive and actually deal damage. Now, one of the most common questions is platforms. And the answer can be found directly on their website, and this states, for now, Corepunk is only available for PC. Now, let's talk about the features. Let's start with the classes. And according to the developers, this is what they said, quote unquote, when starting Corepunk, you'll be able to select from a list of heroes. Initially, heroes are assigned a class archetype, but each hero has a slight inclination towards a particular archetype. There it goes. It's not exactly the answer we want, so I dug deeper and found information on the forums. But I also found this Corepunk class showcase, which is a lot better for showing you guys what are the classes in Corepunk. Let's start with the first over here, and it's the champion, which can be a ranger, destroyer, and defender. Then we have the bomber, which can be a blast medic, a grenadier, or infiltrator. Just pause guys if you wanna see the description. Next class over here is the paladin, which can be a hand of light, a cleric, and a crusader. Next class over here is the warmonger. Definitely looks like an orc race, and it can be a legionary, a commando, and a shaman. Next class is pain reaper, which can be a pyromancer, soul eater, and warlock. And the last class is mercenary, which can be a sniper, engineer, or berserker. Now, PvP. And according to developers, there will be arenas and battlegrounds and PvP in an open world. And what we get after defeating an enemy is honor points, which we can spend on better equipments. Now, let's talk about character creation. Luckily, they have a dedicated video about this, and as you see, it's your typical MMO character creation wherein at the beginning, you select your hero. Then you can either select a preset or customize your character the way you want to. Now, monetization. How are they gonna monetize this game? And according to the developers, they've settled on buy-to-play plus cosmetics, which can be obtained in battle passes and in the cash shop, their in-game shop. They will not sell any boosters, nothing that can affect your gameplay. Only cosmetic items can be bought through the in-game shop or achieved with battle passes. So, based on what they're promising, Corepunk will not be pay to win, which is really nice. But, as always, okay, first, I have no ill will against Corepunk. In fact, I'm excited to play Corepunk. But throughout the years of me covering online games, I've learned that companies can change their mind. So please keep that in mind that they're promising buy to play and cosmetics only. And things could change. This is gonna be tricky because they could have a population problem here if they don't price this correctly. And there's a lot of competition, which is free. So I wish them all the luck. I really wanna see them succeed because there's hardly any no pay to win MMORPG nowadays. And I wanna see a no pay to win MMORPG succeed. And guys, do you wanna know more about Throne and Liberty? There it goes on the screen. Leave a like before you go. And this is Game Me Hardcore. See you in the next one.